Welcome to the second installment of Sports from the Stool. I'm Garrett Simmons.
I'm Greg Price.
Today we're going to talk about, the biggest story in sports, and that's the announcement of the Canadian Olympic team, the men's team, of course. A few surprises today. Was there a single player that kind of caught you by surprise on the either forwards or defense?
I'd probably have to say on the defensive side, probably Drew Doughty, just being that he's just 20 years old, and Crosby didn't make it as an 18-year-old, so you'd think, an 18-year-old, and so that's one surprise there, and I am quite surprised with one selection with the forwards. But like you say, it's you could basically field two teams of Olympic quality players. So I mean, really, it's a dozen of one and 12 of the other. So it's things like that.
Yeah, I think for me the big surprise was probably Eric Staal. I mean, he's had kind of a down year. The Hurricanes have had a down year, and that's kind of one that surprised me. I thought like Dustin Penn would have a pretty good shot from the Oilers, but maybe that's just me being an Oilers fan. But he's had a pretty good season up to this point. And of course, Brent Seabrook, I think, was one surprise both of us. Kind of a player that's kind of under the radar, but I guess that's the way it goes. I guess they wanted a certain amount of chemistry in the team, and having Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook together, I think, is probably a pretty good idea. And same thing with the forwards, I guess.
Well, that's what I say. They're saying that 4 years ago in Turin, you've got this star-studded cast that came in, what was it, 7th place behind such powerhouses as Switzerland, and so I mean, really, I don't think you can just go by stats, goals, assists. I think it's just how fast this team's going to mold together, and having a whole pre-made line like with the San Jose Sharks there with Marleau, Heatley, and Thornton. I mean, you really don't. If you can throw lines out there that have at least a little bit of pre-made chemistry to them, I think that's what was really needs to be focused on this team, which I think, going back to that Eric Staal pick, I know this is a homer selection on my part, but I would have picked someone like Jordan Staal from the simple fact of you really just need that one shutdown line. That fourth line, don't have to worry about offense. I just say because no team has the same depth as Canada has.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so basically what you're trying to focus on is having one line just completely shut down the top line of any team in the Olympics has a fantastic first line, but past that no one rivals the depth of Canada, and so you need that whole shutdown line. And I just think Jordan Stahl's proven it before against his brother in the playoffs. He totally shut down Eric in the playoffs. He shut down Datsuk in Game 7, and here's a guy that's also plays wing once in a while and is also plus 10 on a team that, yes, I know the Pittsburgh Penguins are good, but constantly being put against the other team's top line.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think the other one surprised me too, being a Flyers fan, is Mike Richards. I mean, the Flyers have had a very poor season, and Richards hasn't been his normal self when he made the team. But maybe by reputation alone, I mean, he's a great defensive player too. Maybe that was the last pick between Jordan Staal and Mike Richards, and I guess they went with Richards. And I guess I'm happy they made that pick. But again, you're right. I mean, you're going to need a shutdown forward line and shutdown defensive pairing, and because you look at the Russians have Ovechkin, Malkin, and Kovalchuk. USA has Kane, Parise, Kessler. Slovakia, even you can put Gaborik and Handzus and Hossa out there. The Czechs can put out Havlat and Yager and Mihalik, and all these countries have great teams. I mean, especially the first two lines have great teams. So it's very important to play strong defense as well.
Well, that's what I say with just going back to 4 years ago with our Olympic team. It's just, you can't just, it's an embarrassment of riches as far as the offense goes. So I just key on that fourth line where, I mean, basically I would just think that just your job is just that simple. Just shut down the other top line. Don't worry about the offensive side, because really if Canada can't score with their top three lines, then
we're in big trouble.
We're in big trouble, and you shouldn't be looking for offense from your fourth line anyway. So.
Yeah. And now speaking of that embarrassment of riches, we've kind of compiled our Team Canada #2, I guess, a team that I think we feel as executive directors of Team 2 could do very well in these Olympics. So we'll start off in goal. Greg, who are our goalies for Team 2?
Well, I'd have to say that this is probably, I would say, Team 2 would probably be our weakest link. It would probably be the goaltending, because you're looking at the list and there's not much left over after the top 3, but I would have to say that Dwayne Rolison would be one goalie, Marty Turco would be number 2, and probably number 3, probably Carey Price. But like you say, people like Steve Mason is struggling, Carey Price is struggling. Really, I gotta say that after the top 3 in Canada, it's sort of a crapshoot. So.
And Cam Ward, if he was healthy, probably would be our starting goalie, but that's the way it goes. And on defense, a lot of notable people that weren't on Team Canada. I started off with Mike Green, one of the best offensive defensemen in the league. Stefan Robidas, the Stars, there's a lot of buzz. He was going to make this the Olympic team. Brian Campbell, the Blackhawks. Jovanovski has had a great year in Phoenix. And of course, the 3 Flames, Phaneuf, Bouwmeester, and Regier. Again, tough selections, but I think they've got to be on this team too. And of course, you're leaving off a lot of guys too, like Cam Barker, Mark Stahl, Adam Foote, Chris Phillips. So a lot of good players there, and forwards too. I mean, forwards especially. You have three of the top 5 scorers in Canada: Brad Richards, Martin St. Louis. They're not on Team 1, but they'd be on our team. And you've also got a guy like Dustin Penner, Steve Stamkos, the 2 Florida Panthers, Stephen Weiss and Nathan Horton. Captain Canada Ryan Smith, of course, and then of course Jordan Stahl. Of course, I'll give you that one.
Of course.
And then of course, player that was probably a lock to make this team at the start of the year, Jeff Carter of the Flyers, who's kind of fallen on hard times, but he'd definitely be on this team. And of course, Vincent Lecavalier had to get in consideration, along with Camilleri, and probably Mike Fisher of the Senators. A lot of buzz that he was going to make the Olympic team, and didn't happen for him. But probably Team 2. It's a pretty good squad right there. I think we'd have a pretty good shot at beating most any country.
I guess, like you say, to sort of sum it all up, basically I just think Canada's best chance at a gold medal. I mean, you can, sort of pick players to, the cows come home as far as who should and shouldn't be on the team, but I mean, the number one thing is that it should probably just come down to chemistry. So hopefully we have it, and hopefully Canada will come home with a gold medal.
All right, for Garrett and Greg from the Taylor Times, see you soon. Bye.